although we can go on and build this sales letter, but let's get one thing out of the way, and that is how do we make this buy button functional. Okay, so what we need to do is that first of all, we need to get out of this page builder mode by clicking on back. So there are a couple of things that we need to do to make this happen. All right, so first and foremost, we need to create what we call a product. All right, a product. So where do we do that exactly? So we go to this thing called payments on the left menu. And at the top here, we will click on this thing called products. Now just ignore this part here. If you're doing this for the first time, then you're not going to see anything here. And not to forget, prior to this video, make sure that you have integrated at least one payment method. Our payment of choice would be Stripe. Alright, so make sure you get that out of the way first, get that done, and then this step will make sense. Alright, so once you have added Stripe as a payment method to your Digisales account, we're going to click on this thing called Create Product on the top right. Okay, so over here, we're going to go through head to toe, include an online store. For me personally, I don't think there's a need for that, so I'm going to toggle this out. The title of the product, for me, is called Digital Business Intensive. Okay, and then we'll give it a short, brief description. It might show up in the order form. So I'm just going to call it 3 days live immersive boot camp on how to start, sell, and scale your digital products business. Okay, now it doesn't have to be really fancy as long as it's intuitive. Media, this is basically what the picture of the product looks like. So click on upload a file. And I'm going to reuse what I had already uploaded earlier. So you don't have to keep uploading the same picture again and again. You can do it once and you can reuse it like what I'm doing here right now. Okay, so I double click on that. This featured, we'll leave that be. Now this one is not really necessary as well, so we're going to leave this box unchecked. Product tax code, we're going to leave this alone as well. I think this is not really necessary. Okay, include text in your prices. Now for me personally, I'm just going to put no over here, alright? And as for additional description, now this is totally up to you. Personally, I'm just going to leave this part alone, okay? And as for the price, you can put one time or you can put recurring. So for me, I'm just going to put one time here, and in this case, I'm going to put 997 US dollars. Alright, now you can put any currency that makes sense to you. And one thing though, they have a lot of currencies here, which I think that's really amazing. Alright, so they're quite generous with this one, but I'm just going to go with US dollars in this case. Alright, I'm going to go with USD. Additional options, I'm just going to leave this alone. Now if you want to add something else here, you can go for it. Alright, now I'm going to click save. Okay, and yeah. That's the first thing we're going to do. We have added a product. Now, if you want to add another, let's say, installment plan, you can go ahead. And you know what's interesting, by the way, real quick, there's this compare price as well. So if you want to so-called float a, if for lack of a better word right now, float a higher price or a fake price, you can do that. So I'm going to put something like 1997. And then what happens later is that's going to be sort of like a strike off, and then they show you the actual price. Okay. Now, let's say you want to add another payment plan. All right. We'll just click on add another price. I'm just going to call this Digital Business Intensive. All right. Easy payment plan. All right. Type, I'm going to call it recurring. And now let's just say I want to make this into like two parts. All right. Make sure the currency is correct. Okay. And I'm going to bill it monthly. Total of number 2 payments. All right. So 2 months starting right now and 30 days later, the customer will be billed this amount. All right. And yeah, that's it. Okay. I'm just going to click on save. And now we have 2 different options. All right. Now, for completion's sake, you can just add another compare price over here as well. All right. And don't forget to click save. Okay. Now we don't need this. Let's click save. So we have 2 payment plans over here. All right. Okay, cool. So this is the first step. All right. We have created basically a product. I'll just get out here for a while. And yeah, it looks like we have, in my case, we have like a total of 2 products over here, but that's just me. I'm doing one example for you here right now. Now we go back to sites, all right, and we're gonna go back to this funnel we have created called Digital Business Intensive. This is the example or case study I've been doing in front of you all along. And what we're gonna do now is that for this funnel step, we haven't created any other pages right now. Okay, so we only got a sales page. We're gonna click on this thing called Products tab over here. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna click on Add Product. All right, so we're gonna choose this very familiar product we've just created. And we're going to choose the price. I'm going to go with one-time payment, all right? And now, if you want to give a different pricing over here, you can do it here. But right now, I'm just going to leave it be. I think this is good enough. I'm going to click Save. All right, sweet. Okay. Now, just an FYI, there was a slight skip in the video just now. I'm using an existing product that I've created from before, so I want to avoid duplicates, all right? So I'm going to add another product. Okay, this would be the payment plan. And there we go. Okay, so the reason we are doing this step is more like we want to let Digisales know that these are the products attached to this particular step, all right, or this particular page. So now that we've done that, let's go back to overview and let's continue editing this page. Right now, what I like to do, I'm going to show you something a little bit new as well. I like to normally edit this in a new tab. So let's go. Alright, so we're now back at a rather familiar page, and I get it, as of the time of this video, this is a fairly simple page. After this entire tutorial, I will be adding more content or making this a full-fledged sales page. However, right now I'm going to show you how you can make this a functional page right now, and I'm going to share something a little bit new with you as well, and that is how do we put this into a pop-up form, alright? So to get started, I want you to click on this thing called pop-ups. It should be somewhere at the top. Yeah, pop-up settings, all right? So it's at the top menu here. You can only create one pop-up per page, all right? So let's click on that. And you notice that just like how we add the elements for the main page, it's a very similar thing over here. So we're going to click on Add Row, and we'll drag one column here, all right? So once again, this should be something very familiar to you. I don't have to explain it to you all over again. Now, what's interesting is that we're going to add this thing called an order form, all right? So click on Add Element, and we're going to look for this thing called order form, all right? Now, there's a 1-step or a 2-step, all right? Now, this is totally up to you, but right now, let's go with something that's probably like a bit more simple. Let's go for a 1-step order, okay? So this is where people are going to take action on, where they're going to make the purchase on, all right? And later, I'll show you how to like get people to this particular pop-up. So you can make the changes here, especially on the right hand side, all right? So button color, this will be the button down here. You can change the color if you want, but I think a teal color or perhaps green color, all right, looks good, all right? Button size, now for buy buttons, I like to make it like bigger, medium or large, so it kind of shouts out. Button style, that's totally up to you, but I'm just going to leave it alone at flat. Form corners, I think this is kind of like good enough, okay? And for button actions, normally I just leave it by default by going to the next step, all right? Now, I get it, we haven't done that just yet. After this, you can create a thank you page in your funnel, okay? So let's go to advanced, and you probably want to pay a little bit more attention to this part because each of these require a bit of like intricate detail. So headline, shipping, and your info. Now, this is written for a very e-commerce way of speaking, but if you're selling like digital courses or online programs like me, this is not really the best term to use. So normally I just call it secure checkout form, all right? And at the bottom here, sub headline, you can actually totally remove it, or you can just put a call to action. Enter your details below, okay? Or however you want to say it, okay? Next one, toggle company name. Now this is up to you. You can ask for company name, that's okay. personally, I'll just leave it alone because there are people that make purchases and then they want to make claims from their company, so I'll leave that alone, all right? Full name, yep, you definitely want that. Full name validation, let's leave it be. Email address, very important. Phone number, most of the time I will collect phone number, but if you want to hide it, that's up to you. But personally, I'll just leave it be. I like to collect phone numbers. Phone country code picker, you can turn this on as well, especially if you're expecting international customers, not just from a very specific country. Toggle shipping. Now, this is something I will hide because I don't really need to know people's like full address unless they're expecting me to send them something or deliver something physical. Then I will ask for their address. But you know what? I don't need that. So the thing about selling digital products is you want to minimize all this like unnecessary questionnaire on your form, so you reduce the amount of friction, all right, from people making a purchase from you. Okay. Now, as for the rest, you can leave all this alone. Okay. All right. Now, there's this thing called complete order, or you can just leave it alone as well. And there's a sub button if you want to add something over here. But for me personally, I think this is good enough. I'll just leave it be. And as for the rest here, enable cart mode. Let's see what this does. Product description, you can enable that. Pricing information, you can do that as well. Okay, now coupons. Okay, now if you do not have any coupons whatsoever, it's best to just turn this off. All right, because psychologically speaking, if you have a coupon field, people will assume there's some kind of like secret deal going on somewhere, and some people might actually procrastinate and maybe hold out hope that they could save a discount or something like that. So if you do not have any coupons allegedly, do not enable this at all. All right. Now, as for this one, terms and conditions, I think you can just leave it unchecked or leave it be. Okay. And as for the rest here, validate disposable email, you can choose to turn it on if you want as well. And yeah, I think this is pretty much good enough. Okay. But of course, when you're doing this for the first time, it's better that you check this head to toe, because this is a very important step. And it'll be a waste that you have customers that really want to buy from you, but you know there's an error on this page somehow, then and you actually lose money or you lose traffic. Okay, so this is how the order form works. That's how it looks like. And yeah, let's just go to pop-up settings. Or now I'll just click on pop-up settings if you want to change anything. All right. Now personally for me, I think this is pretty much good enough. Okay, now show pop-up on exit. Now personally for me, I will not do that. I'm just going to put it at none. But if you want it to show up on exit when people attempt to leave the page, you can as well. But I think in this case, I'll put none. All right. So how do you get here? Click on this blue button called pop-up settings. All right. You can even change the overlay color on the back to make it a bit darker as well. All right. So yeah, that's like quite some things you can actually do here. All right. So anyways, let's exit from this. Now there's something we haven't like paid attention to, and that's this button. All right, click on this button, scroll all the way down, and you want to make sure that this opens up that pop-up we saw just now. All right, and this one as well. Okay, we're going to click on save. All right, now let's go take a look at what the site looks like. This is where you can go to preview. And if you scroll all the way down, let's click on the red button. And there you go, we've got the order form as well. Now, the reason why this kind of like shows up this way is because I've put in two options over here, which is a full payment plan or an installment plan. Now, under most circumstances, I will not put this together. Otherwise, you know, people can get confused. So I would recommend that you have a separate order form for installment plan. All right, I'm just showing you an example of how this works, and you can also do a bump offer as well. Okay, so anyways, in most cases, if you're selling just like simple digital product like me, normally you just like want to have like one product over here. All right, so there you go. Okay, so this is how it works, and maybe I'll just show you one last thing before I end this video, and that is you want to make a test purchase, right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to go back to this funnel page over here. That means you go to sites, and how do we do a test purchase? All right, you go to settings, and do you see this thing called payment mode over here? You're going to toggle this as a test, and then click save. All right, so now when you make a test purchase, it's gonna be in a test mode, all right? So don't worry, you're not gonna actually get billed the amount over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna refresh this page. All right, I'm gonna click on this again. And you're gonna see there's this thing called test mode, all right, test mode. So for card number, you just want to put 424242 all the way, all right? Just 4242 all the way, and the expiry date and the security code, it's going to be something in the future. So I'm just going to put like in the future, and then 123, all right? So you can do something like this and click on complete order to test your sales page funnel. But I'm not going to do that right now because, again, as of the time of this video, we haven't created any other page to make this a meaningful test, all right? But I'm just telling this to you in advance. So hope this helps, and I'll see you in the coming modules.